Hey everybody, I wanted to talk about a new piece of EDC kit I got. I just built this a couple days ago. I'm not a big name dropper, but this is a Maxpedition. I'm sure you could see it in the video, so I might as well call it out. I just got this in a day or two ago, maybe yesterday, I can't remember. I wanted something that was inconspicuous. My wife and I have a baby, and I wanted something that we could throw in our diaper bag and keep a full EDC kit in. As you can see, this kit, it seems like it's built pretty tough. I don't know, I'll test it out, but it's got molly webbing on it. It's got a netted pouch on the front. I doubt I'm going to put anything in the netted pouch. Maybe a picture of my wife and son, maybe. That still looks inconspicuous. I'm not going to put anything on the molly webbing. It's got a Velcro for morale patches. That would look cool. I'm not doing it, though. The goal of this is inconspicuous. And I set it up where if for some reason I can't take one of my larger packs, if I'm in a store, if I'm something like that, and I've got to go and can't get to my vehicle where my packs are, I've got this, and it is a lot of what I need. As most of you know, I set my kits up for food, water, shelter, fire, first and foremost. So this kit is no different. We'll break into it, and we'll go over what I have here. So, opening it up, we've got, don't have it unzipped all the way. You know, I've got this in here, and every time I open it, the daggum thing falls out. It's a fire striker, so we'll just start with that. Just a Walmart fire steel and striker. Like I said, food, water, shelter, fire. The kit does come with a built-in lanyard, and I've got a little button compass on a lanyard, so that is what I put there. Sticking with fire, I've got some wet fire tablets in here. 2 of them, the striker, the wet fire tablets. I've also got 2 cotton balls in here, which you'll see with Vaseline on them, tucked in this back pouch. A Bic lighter, 5 stormproof matches. There's a striker behind those. So I've got redundancy in building fire. Coming right to the top here, I've got a flashlight. It's got the wide and the narrow zoom on it, which is obvious. It speaks for itself. It's handy for navigating yourself around. I've got a spare battery for the flashlight. I've got a button light, which is actually real bright. The video probably doesn't do it justice, but this little dude's pretty bright. I've got not a high-end, but a small and a very sharp pocket knife. Good ways to clean animals, set traps, whatever, protection, security. Paracord, I believe this is 15 foot of paracord. 550, this is real 550 cord, so I could tie up shelters with this, set traps, set fishing lines. For those of you that don't know, paracord, it's got 7 strands on the inside, and then the sheath. Each of the 7 strands on the inside has a 50-pound test limit. The sheath's supposed to be a 200-pound test limit. That's where you get 550 cord, 550-pound test. So I've got 7 strands inside here that each have a 50-pound test. Those would be good for snares, fishing lines, what have you. So that's good for food and shelter. Here I've got 2 1-quart heavy-duty Ziploc bags. I'll get to that in one moment why I have those. I've got 2 carabiners here. Those of you that know me and seen a lot of my videos know I love carabiners. They're good for a multitude of things. Behind here, I've got one of these little metal multi-tools. I ordered like 50 of these online for some kits I were building for people. They don't have a lot of uses, but they're handy, and they're pretty sturdy. They've got a little saw, can opener, a little knife, way to measure, navigation, wrench. You know, they don't take up a lot of room. They're pretty flat. They don't weigh much, so they're worth having, in my opinion. Right behind here, I've got one of these little saws. I've talked about these in other videos. It's a way to cut shelter, cut firewood. They don't work great, but they work good. Let me try to get close so you can kind of see it here. So, just one of the saws. A good way, multiple uses for saws. Coming right here, I have water purification tablets and the PA+. So that goes along with the Ziploc bags. It's kind of a smaller kit to put a container in. So these are each 1-quart Ziploc bags. So having 2 of them, I have half a gallon. I have 2 quarts. Good thing too is the directions on these for how much you use is split into quarts. So I have a way to purify and carry a half a gallon of water if I needed to. Or I can use just 1 quart bag, purify it, drink it, and move on. So containers and ways to purify and carry water is absolutely essential in my opinion. And I think you all would agree. Coming down to this pack, here's one of my two Vaselines, cotton ball and Vaseline. And just like the wet fires are a petroleum-based product. Kind of the same thing as this, only wet fire is a little more uppity version of it, I guess you could say. Coming into this kit, I've got, or this side of the kit, I've got 15 foot of bank line. I think it's like a 100 or 175 pound or whatever it is, test. So I've got 100 yards of 10 pound monofilament line. Food. Fishing is easy and it's pretty passive. Passive way to get food. Doesn't require a lot of energy to set some bank lines or to sit there and fish. I've got hooks and leaders here. I think there's like 6 hooks. I forget what size they are, but they're smaller circle hooks. So if I want to set limb lines or bank lines, the fish will hook itself. Leaders are already on it. So I am good to go there. And I think that is it. So breaking it down. Food, water, shelter, fire. Food, fishing. Also food, the paracord or the bank line. I'm an experienced trapper. I could set snares. I can get food with those, hopefully. Water, ways to purify water, ways to carry water. Shelter, the knife can help cut shelters, help cut logs. The saw can cut limbs. The little saw on this deal can cut limbs. The bank line and the paracord, another use for those is to tie up shelter. Carabiners help to lash and tie up shelter. And then fire, as you've seen, I got the striker. Both wet fires, both cotton balls with Vaseline. 5 stormproof matches with their striker. I've got a Bic lighter. So food, water, shelter, fire. I've also got light, which it does get dark every single night in most of the world, so I'll need to be able to see what I'm doing. So this is just a kit that I know that I can grab and move on. If I couldn't get to any of my bigger packs, I had to go right now and get something to get me for a few days, or possibly indefinitely. You know, I do a lot of treks, a lot of backpacking, a lot of hunting, and I've gotten into situations where I had to do with less than this in pretty rough conditions, and I was able to luckily and skillfully set it or make it work. So having all of this is really a blessing. If you had nothing else but this, you'd be in good shape if you practiced how to use and how to master all these items. So I appreciate you guys watching this. Again, I'm no professional. I just know what I know. I like to share that with everybody. If you've got any ideas or opinions, just let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next video.